Welcome back to the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast. I am your host, Jesse Ewell, and today we're going to be talking about the habit of grounding. Now, today, as we get into this episode, I want to share a quick story that I first learned about grounding about 3.5 years ago from a mentor of mine named Nancy Rebecca. She's been on my podcast before. If you don't know about her, I think it was around episode 70 that she came on and talked about energy and just some of the work she does. She's amazing. But she originally taught me about grounding as a method to not only get me grounded, but planted in the earth with all the changes that were taking place in my life at the time. And the important part of this is I really want you to pay attention today to what grounding is actually doing for you and the actual purpose of it. And it may assist you any place you're at in your life, whether you're, feeling like, hey, I'm making a lot of these, changes in my life, but I'm feeling really unstable. I feel like all I'm thinking about are things in the future, or maybe, you feel like you're, constantly thinking about stuff in the past. Wherever you're at with that, this is an important part for you to assist you in your growth. So think about it this way. Since you are a spirit, all of us have a spirit in our body, and we have a body on earth. You get to experience both body, the physical part of ourselves, and the spirit, which is the spiritual part of ourselves. Now, the spirit is separate from the body, and the best way that this can be explained was you have a earth energy to assist you to relate to your body and the physical creations. And then you have this, cosmic energy to help you operate and create a spirit. And grounding is where we begin to bring these energies together when they become out of balance. And it assists us in communicating with the world. So if you want to think of this as the best way that I could describe this is grounding is about balancing this earth energy and spirit energy together. And no matter where you are in life, whether you're experiencing massive changes, big shifts, small shifts, in order for these changes to actually stick and take place, we must practice grounding for them to actually stay. And so one of the things that I realized early on was, hey, it's great that I'm making all these changes. It's great that I'm growing. But one of the things that's going to allow me and allow myself to stay with these changes is actually being grounded as these changes are happening. And so it allows everything to kind of catch up. Sometimes, maybe my spirit is growing more than my physical body, or my physical body may be growing at a faster rate. And so this begins to kind of balance everything out. But grounding is putting the body in direct, uninterrupted contact with the earth. This means that your skin literally needs to touch the soil, sand, water, or some type of conductive surface that is in contact with the earth. Now think about this from an electrical standpoint. If you're grounding or you have a wire that's grounded, it makes sure you don't get electrocuted. And so instead of getting electrocuted in life, we're getting disconnected with life. If we are not grounded, we're getting disconnected with what's going on around us. And so when we get grounded, we're getting connected and plugged into the reality of what's going on in the present moment. Now, if we're talking about a scientific definition or perspective, the idea is that the earth has a mild negative charge to it. And I like to think of this as the earth has an electrical charge to it. And for us to be in sync with that, we have to begin to get grounded. But by us being in contact with the earth, we're actually connecting and giving that negative charge a stable ground, and it's actually stabilizing us. And you may be wondering, hey, why does this even matter? What are some of the benefits for me to do grounding? And grounding is a way that neutralizes free radicals. Free radicals are generated through things like inflammation, infection, cell damage, trauma, stress, and even our toxic environments. Grounding can also help improve sleep, pain management, stress. Grounding also helps improve inflammation, which is a huge thing today, and immunity. And I would also add this: grounding will improve you being in the present moment. Now think about things like cell phone, computers. All of these things today are pulling us away from being grounded. Think about, past traumas, past stress, or even current stresses you have in your life. Just being grounded kind of brings us back to the present moment. Now, when is the best time to do this grounding? And I really believe the best time is first thing in the morning. If you can't do it first thing in the morning, does that mean that you don't need to do it? No. It just means, to me, that's what I've witnessed as the best time. Some of my favorite ways to do this is to go for a walk. And then on that walk, whether you're in the mountains, whether you're on the ground, just taking your shoes off. Luckily, here in Southern California, we have beaches, we have mountains, we have access to so much stuff around here that it's super important for us to be grounded in who we are and where we are. But some of my favorite ways are just to be able to walk on the beach. Many of you know that I've picked up surfing. And what I've really noticed from that is I feel much more grounded in the morning when I go out surfing than anything else. I feel like it grounds me more than anything that I've ever done. And that's one of the reasons that I really like it. So getting in a natural body of water, and I'm going to list them in order. I'm going to say ocean. You have a natural salt, not salt lake, but salt body of water. You have lakes, you have pools, and then you have bathtubs. Now, as much as I love all of these things, ocean to me is number one, lake is number two, and then you have pool, bathtubs. Even going for a hike in the mountains. It's important to get out in touch with nature. Now, if you don't have mountains, if you don't have these things around you, what's the next best thing? To go hike or to go for a walk in a park, to go for a walk somewhere in nature where you're exposed to these things. Now, just think about it this way. If you don't have any of these things, it's not a big deal. Just simply take your shoes off, plant your feet in the grass or the dirt, and it'll do the same thing. But it's important that we do this. Now, if you can't do it in the morning, do it when you can, and you will still see many of the benefits. Now, one of the other benefits is stress. One of the tools that I often teach my clients in habit-based lifestyle and habit-based marriage is when you feel anxiety, when you're feeling this lack of focus, when you're feeling this not being able to concentrate, then we have you ground. And most of the time I have my clients try to do this first thing in the morning, because when your mind is racing, grounding brings you back to the here and now. And it's very helpful in managing overwhelming feelings, anxiety, any of that stuff. So think about all of this stuff is your energy being pushed out kind of like all over the place, almost like a pinball machine. So it's a great way for you to kind of calm down and come back into the present moment. Now, think about this. I'm going to give you a few ways that you can practice doing this, or a few techniques, and you can really just let me know which one works best for you. But it's important that you begin to make this grounding a habit. So you're connected with yourself and you're connected with the earth, and you're not only connected with yourself, you're connected with spirit and your physical body in one. But I'm going to give you 3 ways to do this. Number 1 is this. Every morning, first thing is get up and take a walk. I don't care if it's 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it is, just get outside. Maybe you live in the snow, maybe you live in the rain, maybe you live in the sun. Whatever it is, just get outside. It doesn't matter. Take your shoes off. take your shoes off for like 2 minutes, 60 seconds. If it's super cold where you are, take them off 60 seconds and just touch the grass, touch the ground. If you're in a warmer climate, you can do this a little bit longer, but take a walk. If you can't take a walk, you don't want to take a walk, get in some type of water. Some type of water, whether it's the ocean, whether it's a lake. Those are two natural bodies of water. And then we can get into a pool. If you can't get into a pool, maybe a bathtub, and just soak in there for a few minutes. And if you can't do any of those, the best thing to do is maybe just get out in nature, go for a hike, go for a bike ride, go for a run, whatever it is, and just watch. What I've seen is when I do these things, my day is so much better. When I do these things consistently, I feel so much more plugged in and I feel a lot less scattered and all over the place. But this is one of the first things that I recommend any of my clients to start doing because there's so many distractions every single day. And one other thing on this is get rid of your phone for this entire time you're doing this. Get rid of your phone and just see what happens. Get rid of anything that may distract you and just focus strictly on being grounded. So I give you 3 practical ways to do this. My favorite way is surfing. Probably my second favorite way is going for a bike ride in the mountains. And then my third favorite way is to just go for a walk and then take my shoes off at the end. But give this a try. Let me know what you think and start grounding. Make this a habit of grounding today. I want to thank you guys for being on here. If you're looking to connect further with a group of like-minded people, join myself and so many others in the Habit-Based Lifestyle Secrets group on Facebook, where I will be dropping daily habits to help you live to your full potential. If you want to be one of our next case studies and begin living this habit-based lifestyle, maybe you have questions, comments, requests, feel free to contact me, Jesse, at habitbasedlifestyle.com. Until next episode, have a great day.